Hello everyone. Today we're going to be comparing VSG and gastric bypass.
This is like so different than we've ever done before.
And my mom won't stop laughing because apparently this is whatever. I'm Amanda, Jennifer's daughter. I'm 22 years old and I had gastric bypass in October.
Keep going. You're doing amazing.
And we're just going to be doing some comparisons and see what the differences are and whether or not it's the best thing for you.
Hi everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. I wanted to bring my daughter on to do this video. I've been promising this video for a while, and so we wanted to kind of get it done. We only prepared for a little tiny bit, a few minutes, because we kind of wanted to be kind of on the fly with it. So my name is Jennifer. Hello. I am 44 years old. I am 5'3" and a half, and I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on January 23rd, 2017. And you had gastric bypass. When did you have it?
October 8th, 2018.
Okay, and so you are 7.5 months post-op, and I am 27 months post-op. And so let's talk about our weights first off. So what was your highest weight?
My highest weight ever was 313 pounds. On the day of surgery, I weighed 296, I believe.
I think it was actually 303 was your surgery weight.
So I weighed 303 pounds on the day of surgery. And then today, when I weighed myself, I weighed 193 pounds.
Which is a total loss of
120 pounds.
Isn't that amazing? Okay.
Crazy.
My highest weight ever was 261. My surgery weight was 250. My current weight is 170. My lowest weight ever, though, was 162. So I've actually had an 8-pound regain. So my total weight loss since my highest weight is 91 pounds, whereas Amanda's is already 120 pounds. And I looked back at my old videos, and when I was at her stage, I had lost 66 pounds. So she has lost almost double what I lost at the same point. And I had VSG and she had gastric bypass. So we want to talk about a couple things in relation to things that are similar, things that are different. And we're going to start out by talking about our hospital stays. So, and I also want to say that every surgery is different, every surgeon is different, every pre-op program is different, and we all handle surgery completely different. So just because we had this experience doesn't mean that you will, or that you should have, or could have, or will, or won't. This is just exclusively to what we specifically experience for ourselves. Now, couple of things that we both had in common, and for one, I want to say that we did have the same surgeon and we had it at the same hospital, so a lot of the setup was the same. We both only stayed one day in the hospital. Now, I had heard that most RNY gastric bypass patients stayed 2 nights. That's not always the case. She only stayed 1 night.
Yeah, I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Hospitals are not fun. I found out really quickly. I would rather be at home and be uncomfortable than be in a hospital and uncomfortable. So I asked to leave right away.
Yeah, so the soonest possible opportunity, they did let us leave a little bit early. Mm-hmm. The other thing that we had heard during watching other people's videos is I had always been told that when you get VSG that you don't have to do a leak test, but I had heard that when you get the RNY or gastric bypass that you always have to do a leak test. Well, apparently that's actually not 100% true because Amanda did not do a leak test. I didn't because I had VSG, but she also did not do, like the barium swallow, like when you're in the hospital. A lot of people have to do that before they'll be released. They did not do that at all. They also did not monitor really our water intake. I've seen some other people do videos where they gave us the little cups to drink, but they weren't really. I've seen some people do with their videos. They have like a chart and they have to check off boxes for how much water they drink.
Well, I think for me, I couldn't go to the bathroom at all, so I had to have a catheter for the full night, and maybe that's why, because that was monitoring
Yeah, and
my
that's something that
water.
happened that is actually very uncommon. Is most people that have a weight loss surgery don't have to get a catheter, but in your case,
Yeah.
because you were literally, and I think also something else I want to talk about is the amount of vomiting that we had in the hospital. Now, I had vomiting because I ended up getting a migraine, and they would not give me my typical migraine meds in the dose that I would take if I was at home. And so because of that, the migraine escalated, which caused nausea, which caused vomiting, and the fact that I had just had surgery and I had all of these pain meds in my system, that made me throw up. And so that was pretty uncomfortable. You also had severe vomiting.
Yeah.
And I did do a video up with Amanda when she was still in the hospital. So if you want to look back at videos, you can look at that. She had a lot of vomiting, and we suspect the vomiting was a reaction to the hardcore painkillers. Because as soon as you stop the painkillers, the nausea. But she was throwing up severely bad. Like
reaching to the depths of my soul.
Yeah, it was guttural vomiting. It was really severe and very scary because she had just been out of surgery for a couple hours when she started throwing up, and it really went on.
Yeah, and I thought I was in pain, so I was saying I'm in pain, and so they'd give me medicine, and then that was making it worse. And as soon as they stopped the pain medication, I wasn't in pain at all, and I stopped throwing up, which was awesome. And I went home.
Yeah, I think that both of us actually post-op, when we both got home, I didn't really have to use the, I was given Dilaudid as the painkiller. I don't recall really having to use that very often. I just took, post-op, you're not supposed to take ibuprofen. You're only supposed to take acetaminophen. So I do recall, bless you, taking acetaminophen a couple times, and I did take the Dilaudid a couple times, but it wasn't really a lot. And I don't remember if you took any of it because they had given her a liquid painkiller.
I don't do liquid medicine. It does not agree with me. The second I take a sip, I throw up.
Yeah, I don't think that you'd had any painkiller.
I was not in pain at all.
You didn't have a great deal of pain.
I had soreness, but I was not in pain. I did not take any medication for pain.
Once you were home?
Once I was home, I just laid in bed and slept it off. I did not feel the need to take any medication. But I've been like that. Like, even if I get hurt or I'm sick, I'm reluctant to take medicine until the last second.
And as a post-op patient, we're not supposed to take a lot of medication. I do suffer from migraines, and so the most that I will take is one Excedrin or one acetaminophen at a time. My migraine meds are very small. They're like this big. And so you have to be real careful post-op, with the meds you take. So make sure you talk to your doctor and get your recommendations. But it's my understanding that no one should be taking ibuprofen at all. Like, basically, I think, like, ever again. Acetaminophen is the only one that we're kind of allowed to take, and then I never take a full dose. Okay, the other thing something else I want to talk to you guys about is the food intake. So I always describe the feeling I had post-op as I had a very huge feeling of restriction straight away. I felt like my stomach was very swollen, and so the way I describe it is I felt like I had a straw that had been cut to be about this big, and you know how small a straw is. I felt like that is how big my capacity was post-op. And so when I would drink anything, just imagine how little it takes to fill up a straw that's only this big. Whereas, and then as time went on, it went from being a straw to like this big to maybe being, those fat straws you get for like ices and like the boba teas, like the fatter straws. Then it was like that, but it was still very small, like this big, and because I could kind of feel it, like the sensation. And then with time, it became like a cheese stick size, but still small. And then with after being 2 years post-op, my stomach, it feels a little bit bigger. I don't feel that same shape where before I actually felt that literal shape. With you, I always got the feeling that the way that you ate food, it was more like your food was going into a little bowl or a cup.
Yeah.
Like the shape of our stomachs were so different.
Like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel hunger. I don't feel full. I just feel nothing.
But
So-
but soon after, like really close to post-op, I remember you really not getting that feeling of fullness. Like I felt it like immediately.
Well, yeah, like
I felt a lot of restriction.
I didn't feel anything. Like it felt like I didn't even have a stomach. Like I wasn't feeling
like
I
almost
wasn't
almost
feeling
like
anything.
numb.
Yeah, it felt.
But then what would happen is then you would overeat a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you would throw up.
And so because I was eating too much and I would throw up too much, I became very
Kind of fearful of eating.
Yeah, fearful of eating.
It kind of formed like an aversion.
So I stopped eating for a few days at a time, and because I didn't want to throw up because it's so uncomfortable. And even now, I don't eat a lot at all. Like I'll have like a really small salad or something like that. Like most of my calories, like 95% of my calories come from Gatorade. Like it's just liquid calories, which is really bad, but I still haven't figured out what to eat. Even 7 months out, I still haven't figured out.
I did a video last week I showed how you make your turkey rolls, like with the cheese. You do that.
Yeah.
And I think one difference with Amanda is with me, I felt the restriction immediately. I could take in very little food, where she could take in more food, but then she didn't have the physical sensation to know when to stop. And so when she says that she overate, that might have literally been
2 bites.
2 bites. Instead of maybe she only should have had 1 bite, where we're talking very, very small quantities, but it doesn't take much to go overboard. But I think the sensation was a lot different because I couldn't even get it down into my stomach in the first place. I couldn't even swallow it without having that sensation. And so I think I felt the restriction a lot more than you did. And yours, you've had to almost learn when to stop, what the sensations are. And there's a lot of videos about people talking about like little sensations they get, like their signals. For me, it was really obvious. I mean, I literally felt this restriction, and even just a little bit extra would like kind of like go up higher in my chest. And so I would get a lot of pain in my chest.
Well, for me, I really I don't really have any signals. I just say, okay, I've had 5 bites, I'm going to stop. Like, because in the past, I've had 6 bites and I've thrown up. So it's like
you had to learn from experience.
Yeah.
But your signal is throwing up.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't have a physical signal. It's just I need to remember when to stop. Or I need to tell myself, okay, time to stop. I've had 2 bites, done. You know, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, and me, now that I'm 2 years post-op, when I get full, I get more of that typical, like, me eating a small portion is the same thing as someone eating like a humongous turkey dinner or like a big like feast. That feeling of fullness, it's now the same as I would have had pre-op, but from overeating, where I just feel full. I don't really. Occasionally, I'll get like that little chest pain, but most of the time, I just feel full. I just can't fit anymore, and so I feel completely content not to eat anymore. But, you know, also the further out you get from surgery, the more you're able to eat, and you kind of learn little tricks to get more food, which is the hard part is we do learn tricks on how to get around our surgeries, and that's how it's hard not to regain weight.
And another thing is I don't get any acid reflux, and I don't have any heartburn, and I don't have really any other problems.
Did you have acid reflux before you had surgery?
I think I had a little tiny bit, but
you were
not a lot.
Just starting to get a little bit of acid reflux.
But I never really had heartburn.
Well, you actually, I don't know if you remember this, but you actually did, and that was one of the reasons why I really wanted you to get the gastric bypass. And I actually did a video about that, like the day that we went to the hospital, or I mean to the doctor's office to find out about our surgeries. That was something that I was really worried about, because you guys remember that I had heartburn like pre-op, and now I have it terribly bad, where I've had a lot of damage done from having acid reflux, and I now have a lot of problems. And you can watch other videos to see more about that, because that's like bad stuff. But what do you think is the one thing that you had heard would happen after surgery that you couldn't really prepare yourself for, that you're sort of, even though you knew it, like that it could happen, that you're surprised that it really did happen?
Dumping, for sure. When I heard about dumping, I was like, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me. I'll know when to stop. That's not going to happen. Like, obviously, you'll feel it. You'll know when to stop. But the amount that I had was shocking. Like, I was not prepared for that at all. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And also, after losing so much weight, I kind of just expected to be skinny, like just be pretty again. But I have so much loose skin, and I was not prepared for that either.
You didn't realize like how bad like it could actually get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've also lost 120 pounds in 7 months.
Yeah, and I think I didn't even realize how big I was. I didn't realize I had that much weight to lose. I always, in my mind, I was still, 170 pounds.
And just to kind of share something from the past is both Amanda and I were not always heavy. So Amanda was actually a very thin,
athletic person,
very thin in her younger years, but due to medication, she had a rapid weight gain, which was completely beyond her control. And I also was not overweight. And then when I got sick, I got a thyroid disease and some other health issues caused me to gain weight really fast. So like in high school, I was 130 pounds. When you were in high school, you were like 160 pounds or 170 pounds.
Yeah.
But I'm also, 5'3.5". And how tall are you?
I am 5'9".
Yeah. So you were thin at 170. She was very, very thin. Mm-hmm. So
I also, in high school, I struggled with bipolar depression. Well, at the time it was depression, but I wouldn't eat. So I was really thin and losing weight then because I was just not eating. And then when I started my mental health medication for bipolar and anxiety, it caused me to gain weight, but I was also going out more and eating a lot more because I was happier again. And I think that's what caused me to gain so much weight was because in addition to the medication stopping my metabolism and gaining weight, I was eating way more. And so, yeah.
No, that's a really good explanation. What do you think is literally, what is like the easiest part of having weight loss surgery?
It's just losing the weight. Like, it comes off so fast.
I think it's really kind of easier for me to decline certain foods. It's easier for me to to stick with a low calorie diet. There were times when I was like in the first year when there was still a lot of weight loss happening, because now I'm sort of stabilized. I've been stabilized for almost a year now. But I remember it being very easy for me to do a 500 calorie a day kind of diet, where someone else, like in my office, was trying to do it, and it was almost near impossible.
Right now I try to just get 200 calories in. Like that's a struggle.
Yeah.
Like today, for instance, it's almost noon, and I haven't eaten anything.
Yeah. Well, I haven't eaten anything either. But
I
also,
usually don't eat until,
So it's sort of like intermittent fasting to the extreme when you have weight loss surgery, because it's easy to go long periods. Whereas before we had surgery, that would be really hard to eat as little as we eat. Like, I don't think that I could do it. I don't think that you could have done it with a small number of calories that and even me, I think I probably average 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day when I'm eating well.
Yeah, and before surgery, I was very food obsessed. Like I almost got like an OCD where I had to have certain foods on certain days, or else the day was just ruined for me. Like, I could not even go on with that day. I had like Chinese food, McDonald's, taqueria. I had to have those 3 things at least once a week, twice, to be really happy. And now I don't even think about those things at all. I'm like, I can't believe I was eating that stuff. I don't want to eat it. Like I don't try to sneak it. I don't try to eat it at any time. It's gone.
I think that's a really good point to talk about is having food addiction. A lot of people suffer from food addiction, especially people that do have obesity problems. And so now we've got 2 people where I do not suffer from food addiction.
I'm actually like the opposite now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like food at all. Like I'm like, if I could not eat it, I wouldn't, which is not healthy. I know.
If we could survive without the food. Because I remember there were certain times where I thought that like I was just going to keep losing weight forever, and it was scary. So I felt like I started like to add extra calories and started pushing more calories. And now I sort of regret that, because even though I think around like 6 months is really common to kind of get that fear that you're losing too much weight. Oh my gosh, it's never going to stop. You're never going to be able to eat again. But now, seeing where I'm at now, when I'm kind of struggling to actually lose more weight, it's easier for me to maintain my weight, but it is a lot harder to lose weight now that I'm over 2 years post-op. So I think that kind of appreciating the times where you do have more restriction and really take advantage of that and really try to eat healthy. And I know that you do eat a lot of...
I eat salads.
A lot of turkey.
So I drink Gatorade, which is not good. But, I mean, when you're not eating anything, I feel like it's a little better, I guess.
And that's kind of what I did, too. I kind of told myself, okay, it was okay if I drank more of the calories. But that does sort of catch up with you. So that's something to be kind of cautious about.
Oh, something is, I'm able to drink soda, which my mom cannot at all.
To this day, I'm over 2 years post-op. Now, I wasn't a huge soda drinker prior to surgery, so that should be noted.
Sure was.
But I have had different periods in my life where I drink soda more often than, but pre-op. But like,
I've recently found out that if I have even a couple sips of a soda, I am wired from the caffeine. I'm just wired for the rest of the day.
So caffeine affects you a lot quicker.
Yeah, like before, I could drink a liter of soda and feel no caffeine effects, not feel anything. But now, I drink 2 sips and I'm bouncing off the walls, which at work is really bad.
Which for me, when I do have a caffeine-based drink, like a coffee or something, I actually don't have any difference of the caffeine.
So that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, so the caffeine seems to maybe affect more for the RNY, whereas it doesn't affect the VSG as much.
And I don't drink any alcohol. Haven't tried. Well,
You've had like a taste.
Yeah,
because she's legal age to drink now.
But I've never been interested in alcohol even before surgery. I thought it was gross, so I don't drink coffee. I'll drink a super like sugary frappuccino or whatever once in a while, but even then, like the sugar is it's so much. I don't drink much of it. It's just a few sips.
Whereas me, the biggest thing that I've noticed with fluids affecting me is alcohol. My husband and I, just like a couple weeks ago, we went to Cambria, which is in California. Beautiful place, highly recommend it. But we went wine tasting, and I got so tipsy just from the wine tasting. And they give you just like a sip in that thing, and I could not believe how tipsy I got just from that. So alcohol affects me really, really fast. But
soda for me.
For me, alcohol affects me a lot, and for you, it's the caffeine that affects you more. Whereas caffeine for me doesn't affect me any differently than it did pre-op.
Yeah.
And I actually drink right now. I drink a lot less caffeine than I used to. I used to drink a lot more coffee drinks and stuff.
I was starting to get back into soda because it tasted good. But then after figuring out, I was going a little like crazy from the caffeine, I've had to stop it again. So I guess it's kind of blessing in disguise, I guess.
Okay, so here, let's wrap it up with a final question. Do you regret having weight loss surgery, and do you regret having gastric bypass surgery?
No, not at all. Even though it's been hard with the food and everything, losing this weight has really helped my life. I've been able to get a job, and before I couldn't have done this job. Even now, after losing 120 pounds, this job is still has its difficulties with lifting stuff and being up on your feet for 9 hours. This has helped so much, and I don't have any acid reflux. So glad. I've seen my mom really struggle with that, and that was worrying for me. But not having it is really great, and just overall, I like it a lot. I mean, yeah, it sucks being so restricted, but I mean, in the end, it's really helping me in my life and going forward.
I would say for me, I don't regret having weight loss surgery, but I do regret having VSG. I do wish I had had gastric bypass because of the acid reflux. The acid reflux is to a level that I never knew was even possible. And now it's caused some potentially life-threatening complications for me personally. So I do regret having VSG, but I do not regret having weight loss surgery because I wouldn't have been able to lose this weight. And, it would have been nice to lose more weight because I have stabilized at 170 pounds, and this is not the weight that I wanted to be. I wear a size 12 right now, and so do you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Before surgery, I wore a size 20 pants, and I wear a size 12 to 10 now.
It's insane. So myself, my daughter, and my other daughter, Michaela, who's also lost weight, we all wear size 12. It's crazy. But I'm the short one. You're 5'9", and Michaela is 5'8", and so we all have different heights. But
yes, we can't exactly share pants.
So yeah, but it's funny how we all wear size 12 pants.
But it's also different because I have to get talls. You have to get shorts.
Well, I don't wear petite. I just wear regular, but anyway, I hope that was really helpful for you. If you guys have any more questions about anything specific, please leave it in the comments. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see more videos with both of us, put it in the comments and we will do more videos if you like this.
And maybe we can get Michaela next time.
Yes, we'll try to get Michaela in next time. Okay, bye you guys.
Bye.